Welcome back, physics students. Today we are going to work on our energy bar charts using that center work column that we've been ignoring for the past unit. And so we're just going to really practice looking at different situations and charting the energy that's found there. So you are going to have something on your screen that says Energy Bar Charts Concept Builder. It says you will be using the concept builder found at this link. That is a live link. You're going to click on it to get out to the concept builder, and I'll show you that in a second. We're going to be practice creating energy charts for situations that involve work. So we're going to have outside forces happening. We are going to be using page 9 of the Energy Part 2 unit packet. So you are going to need that as well. So first, we're going to go ahead, click on the link. It's going to bring it up and then chart that motion. And we can go ahead and make that full screen. All right, then I'm going to go ahead and pull up the energy packet in split screen view. I've already got it open to page 9. All right, so in the chart that motion application, you're going to be given 12 different bar chart options. These are live links. You can go ahead and click on them and they will open up. You'll notice that they all look a little bit different. I have noticed that sometimes they don't want to open, and something that you can do is click on the X to make it small and then just zoom in like this and then they open. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but you can kind of flip through. Clicking on the main screen button allows you to come back to this main screen and pick a new chart. All right, so once you have a chart opened up, this is the fun part. So you'll notice that there are descriptions A through L at the top. Those correspond with the A through L on page 9 of your packet. So if I click on A, it says a car is moving along a level roadway at a constant speed. And that is the same thing as A on the packet. Okay, and that's just to help you guys out. So what we're going to need to do is first off look at the different things going on here. Okay, and so for this first one, they're all going to be in a random order for you guys. I believe this was my number 10, but it's not necessarily going to be your number 10. So the bar charts are not going to be in order. However, A through L are in order. So what I'm looking at first is I'm going to look at my potential and my kinetic energy from the left side to the right side. So if I look at the left, I've got potential energy, and then on the right, I notice that there is no longer any potential energy. That tells me that we started at some height above the ground and then maybe we went down a hill or something like that because we got to a lower height. The only way to lose potential energy like that is to get to a lower height. So keywords I'm looking for in my descriptions are things like, this says a level roadway, okay? That's telling me my potential energy should not change. Here it says the driver steps on the gas, level street. Again, shouldn't be changing. So I'm looking for something where I went downhill. Again, level roadway. We're still not finding it. We're rolling up. Up tells me that my potential energy should increase, and here in my bar chart it's decreasing, so again, keep going. In a baseball player, I know that most baseball diamonds are going to be level. Here I've got a ski lift. Riders go from the bottom to the top of a hill, so again, increasing potential energy. That's not what I'm looking for. Ball is moving upward. Again, that's going to increase potential energy. Here, a skydiver falls the last 1,000 feet at a constant speed. So falls, keyword here. Okay, we might be in business. So this is the first one that could potentially work for this bar chart. Now I need to read the rest of it. So now it says, if I'm looking over on my bar chart, the left part kinetic energy has 2 bars, and on the right side kinetic energy has 2 bars. So that tells me that kinetic energy is not changing. So if kinetic energy were to increase, I would end up seeing more bars on the right side, and if it were to decrease, I would see less bars on the right side. And since I see the same amount of bars, that tells me that there must be constant kinetic energy, which tells me a constant speed. All right, And then last but not least, this work column. So anytime that something is, anytime that something, an outside force is happening, there's going to be work. So in order for us to have that same kinetic energy, there needs to be something that is countering that potential energy that we are losing. And in this case, with a skydiver, that potential energy is going to be taken away by the work of air, like the air resistance pushing back on the skydiver. Okay, and so now since I've identified the description, I'm going to go ahead and add my bars. Okay, and I'm just following along with the bars that are on the left side in my simulation. And I'm using the same colors just to keep it consistent. All right. So you'll notice there were 3 bars of potential energy and 3 bars of work. And so that's why they cancel each other out, because the work was underneath that 0 line. Underneath that 0 line, so it's going to be a negative work. It's taking energy out of the system, and it's taking away that potential energy. The kinetic is staying the same. All right, so now I notice that that is letter H, and I'm going to go ahead and click H in my simulation, make sure that it matches up. Skydiver falls the last 1,000 feet, and I can click check my answer. It's going to tell me congratulations if I've picked the correct answer, and so now I know I am good to go. And I'm going to click return to the main screen, and now I'm going to pick another one. All right, this one, now I've got kinetic energy that is being taken away through work, and we're slowing down and having kinetic energy still. So I know that I should be on a level surface because no potential energy is being moved around. And so I'm actually going to look back up where I identified my first 3 were all on a level roadway or a level street. And I could also look at my baseball player one, right? Because those ones I've already identified as being on a level surface. So now I'm looking for something that goes from a high speed to a lower speed. And so the first one I'm looking at, it says at a constant speed. So a car moving at a constant speed, that tells me my kinetic energy should not change. And over on the left, my kinetic energy does change, so I need to keep moving on. Here it says the driver steps on the gas and the car accelerates from rest to a high speed. That tells me that my car is going to be going rest, tells me there's no kinetic energy at the beginning. And I know that there is kinetic energy, so I got to keep moving. Then it says the driver hits the brakes and a car slows down from an illegal speed to within the speed limit. This tells me that my car was going faster, so it had a lot of kinetic energy. And then we did some work with the brakes to take energy away, so negative work, and that we should end up having a lower speed, right? And this looks just like what my bar chart told me, right? It said you've got some kinetic energy, and you're going to end with less kinetic energy. And the reason is that there is some negative work happening to take that energy away. And so that's going to be answer C. Now, let's say I got this one wrong, and I'm going to click a random letter just to get it wrong, and I clicked check answer. If I got it incorrect, it's going to tell me, sorry, that's not the correct description. Study the bar chart again, and consider what the initial and final bars communicate about changes or lack of changes in the object's speed and height. So the big things that you're looking at are potential energy. If potential energy decreases, you know height decreased. If it increases, you know height increased. Kinetic energy. If kinetic energy increased, you know that the velocity increased. We sped up. If kinetic energy decreases, we know that velocity decreased. You slowed down. And so you're really looking at those changes, and work just allows those changes to happen. Okay? And so if you got it incorrect, you're going to click try again. You're going to go ahead and erase it from page 9 and find one that does work, which we know should be C, and you're going to check your answer, and then you'll move on. All right? As you get them correct, the ones that you've already done and you've correctly identified are going to have a gold star by them. All right, so that is how you use the Chart That Motion interactive. It's going to give you some immediate feedback on how you're doing with these energy bar charts. If you have questions while you're working through it, please let me know. You can WebEx me, you can email me, and I'd love to help you out with them. Good luck!